Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to the Joanne Marime coaching channel. This is Joanne Marime. I hope you're having a fantastic day. So, we have been uncovering your next career steps. Okay, so one thing I want you to be super clear on is you do not have to stumble through life, through your career, just going because that's what your family told you to do. That is what society told you to do. You needed a job, so you just got the next job that was available. You never really thought about it, or just you were passionate about it. That does not create the wealth formula. Okay. And so you might be like, Joanna, what is wealth? What is the wealth formula? I'm glad you asked. So, on the last series of videos, we have just been talking about the wealth formula and what you need to do now if you have been laid off, if you're early on in your career and you're just wondering what to do, if you are in between, making a career transition as well. Okay, so this is for you. What gives me the authority to speak to you on these things? I'm glad you asked. I help ambitious professionals just like you to land your dream jobs, to make more money, and to lead fulfilling lives. And the reason why I'm so passionate about that is because I was once exactly where you are. 8 years ago, when I was in my 20s, because I'm 38 now, okay, I was broke like the Ten Commandments. I was homeless a couple of times in my 20s. And yes, I was an A student. I was a star student. I always have been. One of my strengths, my key strengths is my brain. God has been incredibly, just so generous. When He put me on earth, some of the things He decided to give me and some of the strengths He gave me was my brain. I cannot sing. I can dance. Yeah, maybe I could have been a dancer if I wasn't born to a family of educators. I would have been. But hey, both my parents were teachers. And as an African, Kenyan, American, that was a no, 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 no. If you've been born to parents who are teachers and who are African, you know what I mean. I don't need to explain it to you. And if you're not African, just know. Ask your African people. They will let you know what we mean. So my path was always educational. It was easy for me to digest information. And as a result, I've been able to move to the United States when I was 30. I have been extremely successful in the career sector. And now I'm helping to teach you guys every single thing that I've learned over the last 8 years. Okay. So I've been able to work at ExxonMobil, the biggest oil and gas company in the world. I've worked at Amazon, the biggest tech company in the world. I work at Microsoft, my dream company, where I help all the biggest clients that you've ever had of, on the cloud to achieve both their AI and cloud dreams and targets. And yes, I bring in over 10 billion worth dollars, not Kenyan shillings, of value to my company, Microsoft. And that's why I'm a senior program there. But what I'm most passionate about, guys, is helping you guys achieve similar success in whichever path that you've decided that you want to go into. If you want to come into tech, I am your person. If you're trying to go into a different direction, I specifically thrive in helping people get super clear on where they're going. So this is your girl. This is Joanne. Welcome to this video. Okay. On this series, we've been talking about a couple of things. So if you want to know exactly how to uncover your career, your next career, this is your series. So we've already talked in the last two videos about the wealth formula. You might be like, Joanne, what is the wealth formula? I'm glad you asked. So the wealth formula is this. Wealth formula equals to values plus strengths plus market demand is equals to wealth. Do not base career decisions on your passion and interests only, right? Because that will not put food on the table. It will not afford you the lifestyle that you would like for yourself and your family. And for me, my definition of a dream job is a job that you actually have to work in. I'm not going to lie to you that you'll never have to work a day in your life. You will have to work. But you will be passionate about that job, right? It will pay you the amount of money that you would like. It will afford you the lifestyle, meaning you'll have a flexible lifestyle if that's what you want, to be able to also do other things for your family, build relationships. It will be inclusive. It will have diversity and inclusivity, right? It will just have the values that you like, right? So it's not just a job, but yes, you're gonna have to work. I am not one of those coaches that will cheat you and tell you that you won't. I work a lot. And yes, I'm flexible a lot. And yes, I get to work from home. And yes, I've traveled a lot. And yes, I've helped thousands of ambitious career professionals to land dream jobs in top companies like Nike, like Facebook, like Microsoft, um, like Oracle, like Instagram, like LinkedIn. Like, think about it. I've helped a lot of people to land their dream job. So, yes, and I'm super passionate about helping, especially my people. If you're out there and you just need somebody who has a global perspective about how the market works, then I am your coach. I will link at the end of this video and just at the bottom on how you can go ahead and, book a clarity call with me where we will discover, and it's free, whether we will discover whether I can be able to help you. And then I will also link my career accelerator coaching program course that is self-paced, where you can go one-on-one on it, and all my other freebies. I have thousands of freebies, so please follow me on my social media. It's Joanne Marime everywhere, on TikTok, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Threads, on everything. So that's that on that. So let's continue. So today on the wealth formula, we're going to talk about the third part of the equation. The third part is market demand. Okay? Market demand. So you might be like, Joanne, what is market demand? What is market demand? Right? Like, what is that? I'm glad you asked. So market demand is this. And I love writing stuff down, right? So when you're in my coaching class, I'm going to write stuff down. We're going to get super practical. We're going to do stuff. I'm going to hold you until we get to the end. Even in today's market, where it's an employer's market, right? I promise you, all the clients that I've worked with have ended up having massive success. So let's go ahead. So this, you might be like, trying to make this visible for you. I think this is better. So hang on, I want to, there, we got it, perfect. So what does the word market demand, what is market demand, right? This is understanding if a role pays and if openings are increasing or decreasing in that particular industry. Okay. So you have to understand if a role pays. The reason why we are doing all of this is about money. If it wasn't about money, I wouldn't be sitting here. If I wasn't making way over six figures, and I know my formula has helped others to make way over six figures, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. Okay. So let's not lie to each other. This is all about money, right? So a job in an industry that pays, where jobs are increasing and not decreasing, that's another thing you need to think about, right? You need to do deep analysis. And thank God for AI. Thank God for the fact that we live in 2025, right? In the 21st century, where everything, you don't have to wait and go and into the library and search manually through books. You can just go on your phone and just go to different pages and ask Copilot, ask ChatGPT, ask all these, different AI tools, and even go back to your traditional searches, on Google, a Google search, right? And just look at what industries are growing in 2025. That's so important, because you don't want to be feeling so unstable, especially with all the layoffs and everything. You don't want to go into another industry only to be laid off 6 months afterwards, after all the effort that you've done. So you want to be super clear, right? So you also want to research the salary trajectory, right? You might be like, Joanne, so how do I research the salary? So simple. You have these job sites like Glassdoor, Indeed. If you know Glassdoor, it's so fantastic because it's improved. It's only gotten better with age. Now there's a bunch of so many different professionals, like millions of professionals that have gone in there, given their free insights on different industries. And so it just has so much statistically accurate information on what jobs are growing where, what the salaries are, what salary projections look like, all of that good stuff. Do your research, understand that. Okay. And then you want to make sure that the career pay is compatible with your lifestyle and financial goals. Okay. Let's talk about that. As an African and as a Christian, there's this doctrine that we are taught, which sometimes is counterintuitive to what I believe, as I've learned. And I'm not by any means a preacher or anything like that, but I am a child of the Almighty God. I'm very spiritual. I speak to God every day. I read my Bible. I study it. I try to ask God to lead me. And because I don't just take what people are telling me, right? I don't just go to a pastor or a priest somewhere and they start preaching and I just take it as it is. No. But one of the things that I've discovered when you study the Bible is a lot of the people that were there serving God from Abraham all the way downwards were extremely wealthy, right? Not to say that they didn't follow God. They followed God, and because they loved God, God not only loved them back and protected them, but he also gave them wealth. So being a successful Christian woman is not a bad thing. Being a successful Christian man is not a bad thing. In fact, poverty is from the devil. So why would I want to be poor? Why would you want to be poor? You want to be paid well. You want to live a lifestyle that is great for you and your family. You want to be able to take your children to the hospital if need be. You want to be able to help the less fortunate, which is one of the commands from the Lord, that you feed the poor, you help the widows, the people who are homeless, all those things. You need to do that, but you cannot do that if you're poor. Okay? So it starts with yourself. Elevate yourself, work on yourself, land that job that pays you well, then you can have an even bigger impact on other people as well. Okay? So your pay should be comfortable within what you would like to live. I hate struggle because I struggled all of my 20s. I was homeless many times, sleeping on one of my brother's couches, the next brother's couch, my sister's couch, sleeping on a friend's couch, sometimes just wondering, what is wrong? What is wrong? What was wrong was that I never sought the proper help. Had I known then what I know now, I would have been so far. So what I did differently was when I moved to the US, I made sure that I got a coach to help me, a job search strategist to teach me how to land my dream job. And I landed it within 1 year of getting to the United States. Okay? So the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and hoping for different results. Now, let's talk about my client, Ken, who was struggling as well. And he just was like, he was in Kenya, first of all, and he was just saying, the same rhetoric that all Kenyans have been taught and spill out every single time. In Kenya, there are no jobs. Okay? It's hard. I need to know somebody. That's what I used to believe too, because I was in Kenya. I was born and I was there for 30 years. But trust me, folks, it's not about that. It's not about any of that. It's about getting super clear on your wealth formula. What are your strengths? What are your values? What does the market demand? And then working on your brand and getting super clear on the job that you want to go to, and then working to ensure that you're showing value. What makes you a great professional in that particular area that you are talking about or wanting to go after? Those are the things that I teach in my Career Accelerator coaching program. And so Ken and I worked together. And once we had solidified the wealth formula, within 4 weeks, he was landing interviews left, right, and center. And now he works at an amazing small startup called OpenAI, where he's earning his dream money, and he's working in an environment that he wanted. He didn't want the big corporate, very, overly layered political organizations. He wanted to work in a startup environment, an environment that feels like a startup, and that's exactly where he's working, and he's earning way over six figures, and I'm so happy about that. So if you'd like that same level of success, go ahead. As I said, get in touch with me. I will link below how you can get in touch with me, and me and a member of my team will reach out to you, and we can talk about how we can work together. Okay, so again, the wealth formula. So I hope that helped you, and I will see you on the next video. But before I go, you are awesome. All right, I'll see you. Bye.